to work on this levitation thing. I know how to do that. And I took a 15-inch woofer speaker out of stereo, put it on the floor, had an audio amplifier I paid $25 or $30 for, and I hooked it all together, and I was playing with different stuff on there, and I finally wound up with a ping pong ball. And I was turning this thing, and I don't remember where it was, but I think it was about 28,000 cycles per second. That this ping pong ball got up and just stood there. Just stood there. And no noise. I could hear the hum, but no noise or anything. And I said, well, there it is. I'm going to get a raise. I'm going to be famous. This is it. So I wrote that up and took pictures of it. I took it into Dr. Weinhardt. And he looked at it and he said, well, shut the door and come in and sit down. And I did. And he said, yeah, I see this. He says, I know it's that simple, Ralph. I know that. That's the simplicity of natural law. And I didn't think you were gonna do that. But you have. But you don't understand that this is a government-funded facility. And we're paid to look for the answers, not to find them. So I didn't know what to say then. I thought, oh boy, this is really, I don't know what to do. So he said, now I'm going to have to shred this. Don't talk about it to anybody. Don't talk to the engineers. And I said, yeah, but now I don't know if this is, I said, this works, and I can show you that it works. And I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but I think if we pass this on to the engineers, that we could work together on this and really get somewhere. And he said, no, don't talk to them. I don't want you talking to anybody about this. Go back to work. We're paying you good money. Just keep firing that electron, and we'll keep, all I had to do. So I did, and I lasted about 2 weeks, and I had tears in my eyes when I walked out. I said, no more, I can't take it. And I knew I was really in for it when I got home, because when I said I quit, the door got locked. She said, well, you better find another job right away. So I better explain this before I get away from it. This is a Utron. For those that aren't familiar with it, I'm sure some of you, or maybe even most of you, know what platonic solids are. That came from Plato and Socrates' days. Plato coined the term that these solids, there's 5 of them. There's the tetrahedron, the double tetrahedron, the icosahedron. These are platonic solids. Well, Carr and his people came up with this double tetrahedron, which is equally balanced. Any way you want to put this thing, in any position. It's a square, it's a circle, it's elliptical, it's a pyramid. It's one object. And it has a tremendous amount of power when you expose it to a magnetic field. It's tremendous, unlimited power. And so we started working. Let's see, did I miss anything? Okay, we started working on these things, and we weren't bothered at first. We had a pretty good run on it, and we built some small prototypes. This was one of them back here. What happened to it? This little guy here, in fact, this was the very one that I was privileged to be working with. At the time, we were increasing the vibratory rate of this little guy. And it's made out of T1, I think it is, or T6 aluminum, and very nice aluminum. But I was touching the top of it, nice and solid. But as we increased the frequency, it was getting softer and softer. And eventually, I felt my hand go right through the metal. And it was quite natural. I didn't think anything. I wasn't wow or anything. It was like, wow. Tesla said if it wasn't in his time, it might be in mine. If it's not in my time, it might be in somebody else's. But it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. Because the simplicity of natural energy has always been with us. We just overlooked it by getting too conventional, by getting too engrossed in all the fields of science, mathematics, and all the definitions of things. When I looked at magnetism, and I came out from there and saw what they'd done to a simple line of electricity. They've called it a Dr. Watts, a Dr. Amperes, a Dr. Fahrenheit. All these names, connotations put on a simple law, which is from magnetism out, you just create a magnetic field, you create an electrical current, and that's it. Then you can dissect it in any form you want through frames of reference and get it to work in any field that you want.